Going to show you how you can build this $200,000 endgame layout in Restaurant Tycoon 3, making you up to $2 million per single day. But before I show you this layout, we are going to build this $80,000 mid-game layout and this $15,000 beginner layout. So make sure to subscribe and let's begin. This is the first layout that we're going to build. It costs you $15,000 and it has 8 tables of 8. It also uses the white box bistro, which means that you can basically start building this layout all from the start. And we're going to have 4 different chefs who are set to level 1. And we're going to have 4 different servers, where 2 servers are level 2, being set to greet customers, take orders and collect dishes, while the 2 servers that are level 3 are going to greet customers and serve the food. The upgrades we're going to need for this restaurant are the tip jar, the waiter tray, the level 2 kitchens, the basic advertising, and the level 3 kitchen. Let's start building. How we can start building this layout is that we can build out a square like this, like you see in the white box bistro, and place the doors and windows. Once you have built the outline like this, you can start building the inside. And for the inside, we're going to start with placing down the chairs. The chairs can be placed down in 8 squares like this, all around the plot. Except for this one table, it's going to be moved 1 step further in than the others. Now that you place down the chairs, you can place down the tables. Change the grid size to 2 and just place the tables in the middle. That way you will make tables of 8. Now personally, I like to paint the tables, but this is completely optional. Now that you've built all the tables, we can build the customer walk blocks. Change the grid size to 4 and place the customer walk block in the middle like this. For all the layouts, the customers are going to spawn in the middle like this. This is to make the layout as efficient as possible. If you don't want it, just delete the chairs in the front and make the customers walk in like normally. Now as for the kitchen, we're going to use the basic kitchen and place it 1 block out of the red customer walk spawn block. And then we're going to use the marble oven as well. As well as that, we're going to use the basic order counter. And finally, if you want to upgrade your dishes, you can also place down a fridge with the tip jar on top. Now let's just paint this kitchen. There we go. To finish this layout off, we're going to add some lights. Now we're going to use the shaded desk lamp. They cost $45 and they look pretty good. Other than that, we're just going to place down the floor, paint the floor to look a little bit better. I personally like this brown floor. It looks really good. Then finally, we're going to add a roof. To boost the star rating slightly, we're going to add some bathroom items. So on top of the roof, we're just going to place down 3 different toilets, 3 different sinks, and then just 12 of these soap. Now the hygiene rating will now go up to 5 stars and you will automatically get 2.5 star rating. This layout is going to make you around $20,000 per hour using the British palette with smoked salmon, beef Wellington and trifle. By upgrading these dishes, it will turn to around $27,000 per hour, and if you want to boost it even more, unlock the more expensive mains like paella for example, and you're going to make around $30,000 per hour using this starter layout. Now this concludes layout number 1. Let's hop on to layout number 2. Alright, so the second layout costs $80,000. Now for this layout, you're going to buy every single upgrade except for the 3 expansions in the back, and then naturally not the 2nd and 3rd floor. Now in this layout, we're going to have 5 different chefs and 5 different servers. 3 of the servers are going to be level 5, and they're going to be greeting customers and serving food. Customers take orders and collect dishes. Now let's start building this layout. So what we're going to do is we're going to dig out the ground. Now try to find a middle here. The layout is going to be 6 blocks long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it's going to be 8 blocks wide. So let's just speed up the process a little bit. Now we're just going to add a little bridge so it looks something like this. Now we can start placing down the walls. We're going to use the glass panels. Just fill the entire layout with glass panels around like this. And now that we have added the glass panels, we can also start adding the chairs. We're going to use 2 chairs like this, and then we're going to use grid size 2, and then add 4 chairs like this on both sides, and then 2 chairs in like this. This makes it so you can make a 12 customer table. Now we're going to do this all around the restaurant. After building 8 of these formations, we're also going to add 3 tables over here and 2 like this, and do the same on the other side, as well as another 3 in like this and then 2 like that. This concludes the chair layout. Now we can just start adding the tables. Now we're going to need 8 of the standard 3 length table and then 4 of the standard 2 length tables like this. Now if you want to do like I do, you can just start painting the tables. Now if you want the same color palette for your own restaurant, you can use black and white for the chairs with this second material, and then for the table you will do white and black, and then basically just do that for all the other things in the restaurant. Now that we are done with the chairs and tables, we can start adding the customer walk blocks. And just like the previous layout, we're going to place the customer walk blocks in the middle like this. And then we're also going to place the kitchen on top. This time we're going to place the order counter on top of the walk block, and then add the marble oven and just a normal marble kitchen like this. As well as that, we can also add the fridge and a tip jar. Now we can just turn on manual mode and add a floor to all of this. I like the floor to be this round circular pattern, it looks pretty cool. And we can also add a floor to this little bridge like this. As well as that, we can also add a ceiling on top of all of this. I like the overhang to be 5, it just looks cool. And to get the highest rating possible, we're just going to move over to the corner over here and we're going to dig out some ground just like this. Now to get up the rating for hygiene and atmosphere, we're just going to add a different decorations over here. There we go. So after adding all of these different items, your star rating will go up to almost 4.5 stars. Basically the highest that you can have. Now as for lights, we're going to do the same thing as we did with the previous layout. We're going to add the shaded desk lamps on top of every single table. The layout is going to make you over $50,000 per hour if you're selling the best meals possible, which is the rainbow sushi and smoked salmon as starters, the paella and the trifle. Don't be fooled by the katsu curry and lobster stew, they are really good, but the paella only requires 2 cooking stages, making it the best main in the game, so only sell paella as a main. Yeah, so this concludes the second layout. Let's hop to the third and final layout. Oh, we got some presents. Let's go, let's go. Thank you, little Bloxy thing. Alright, so the third and final layout that we're going to build will cost you around $200,000. Slightly more or slightly less, depending on if you're building this from scratch or if you're actually building this from the mid-game layout. Now for this layout, we're going to need every single upgrade, and as you see right here, I've also turned the entire plot to water. Now this layout also uses every single staff from all chefs and all servers, all maxed out. For the servers, 4 of the servers are going to be set to greet customers and serve food, while the 4 other servers are going to be set to greet customers, take order and collect dishes. So let's just start building this layout. First thing that we can do is we can kind of try to dig out a little plot in the middle. Start to find the middle like this, and we can build out 6 blocks in length like this, and then 4 blocks wide. So the basic layout we're going to use will look something like this. It's going to be a small and efficient layout, therefore it is so small. Now what we can do is we can kind of just start to place down the elevators. And for the elevators, we're going to use the glass elevators because they look pretty cool. And they're going to face in towards the middle with 3 blocks behind. We're going to place down 3 elevators just like this. Now we can also start to build the walls as well. We'll just fill up the entire layout with glass panels on 3 different floors. Alright, so we now have the base shape of the layout, and we can now just start to add the different floors. Alright, so it's time to place down the chairs. For this layout, we're going to use these patio chairs for $150, just because I think they look cooler. Now the pattern for the tables are going to be a little bit different. As you can see right here, this pattern is longer. So instead of having these chairs further out, these chairs will be further out as well, making the table longer and more compact. Now we're going to place down 4 of these type of tables. Just like this. Now for the remaining space, we're going to build tables of 5. So we're going to place down 3 chairs just like this and 2 chairs right here. I'm going to do one right here. So this is the chair layout for the first floor. Now let's just place down the tables. I'm going to use the long tables for the 12 tables and the 2 length tables on the other ones. There we go. We now have 4 tables of 12 and 3 tables of 5. Now we're going to do basically the exact same thing for floor number 2. But right here, we're going to leave a space because we're going to place down a kitchen here later. So leave the space right here, but still place the table of 5 on the other side. Now let's just place down the tables. And then we're done with the table layout for the second floor. For the third floor, we're basically going to build an exact same copy of the first floor. There we go. Now let's go back to floor number 2 and let's build the kitchen. Now we're going to place the customer walk block right by the entrance of the elevator and a spawn block right behind, like this. Now we're spawning in the middle of the entire layout, both in terms of floors and in terms of the layout itself. As for the kitchen, we're going to place an order counter on the right side on top of the spawn block. And then we're also going to place a marble oven on the opposite side and the counter right here. Now as for the fridge, we can place the fridge just on the back here with a tip jar on top. And this basically concludes the kitchen. Now if you've seen the thumbnail or the video, you can see that there are 4 floors. So we're going to do a little bit of a hack here. We're going to take a staircase on the side here. So we're going to move up to all floors. Now we're just going to place a staircase and just move up to the last floor. And then we're going to add a 4th floor on top of this one. And on this floor, you can basically do whatever you want. Since we need the rating to be increased for atmosphere and hygiene, what we're going to do is we're going to add the decorations for those on the 4th floor. There we go. Now, just because I like the layout to look a little bit cooler, what we're going to do is we're also going to add an elevator on top. You can use it to go down, but you can't use it to go up. But I mean, it looks cool. It looks like I have 4 floors, so why not? And as well as that, I also like to just add tables on the 4th floor as well. It's not going to have any functionality. The 4th floor also supports walls, so you can, of course, just fill it out with windows. Like this. So now I think it's time to paint these floors to be white underneath and black on top with the marble floor. As for chairs, we can use this gold color right here and change the material as well as this dark red, and they will look like this. As for tables, we can do the opposite way around. And we can do the same to the windows and elevator, making it look like this gold floor. Now let's just do the same thing on every single floor. Now we have this really golden layout. Now it's a little bit dark in here, so we should just add some lights. For this, I think it could be cool to just use the candles. But for the 3rd floor, you're not able to place the candle on top of the tables, so we're just going to place them below. Now we can just delete this staircase, place down the wall again, and head down to floor number 1. Now the base layout is basically done, but we can add a little bit of a bridge. So just drag the floor like this, maybe add some glass panel fences, find the small bush and just add a bunch of bushes by the sides here. And some of these bushes you can change to gray and you can add the rock painting. So now it looks more natural as well. And else than that, what we can do is we can add a final roof on top of the entire building, add an overhang of 5, and now we are done building this layout. The meals that you're going to use for this layout are going to be the rainbow sushi, smoked salmon, paella, and trifle, just like the previous one. And with these meals, this layout can promise you over $70,000 per hour that you play, meaning that this layout can earn you up to almost $2 million per single day. The rating will be slightly higher with a 4.5 star because we now have more chairs, and else than that, this is the final layout. Pictures of all of these layouts will be published on the Discord server, link will be in the description. Now if you couldn't afford any of these layouts,